Tatsuro Taira just TKO'd Alex Perez in round number 2 with one of the craziest grappling sequences that I've ever seen. So let's break it down. At 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in round number 2, Taira goes for his first takedown of the fight. He steps in deep and gets a double leg. Alex Perez is defending it well. Tatsuro Taira underhooks Alex Perez's left leg and uses that to lift him up. Switch for a single leg, goes for an inside trip, and from there he just extends his left leg, pivoting Alex Perez, taking him down. Alex Perez is on the ground, but not for long. He starts standing back up, and immediately as he's standing up, he gives up his back to Taira. Taira's already going for the body triangle before he's even gotten the back fully. He extends his right leg in front of Perez and then whips his left leg around the back of Perez while he has this seatbelt grip on him already. He gets both hooks in and he has the back secured. Not super unique, not something that you'd write home about. So far, this is a pretty standard takedown and back take, and while it does have some very beautiful techniques that we've seen, it's nothing extremely special. But this is where it gets interesting. Alex Perez stands up and Taira is on his back. Taira has a choke on Perez's face, just putting pressure on. He sets in this body triangle. Most of the time when we see guys get body triangles, they take their leg that is the lock that's over the top of their other leg and they put it behind their opponent's leg. So they tuck it in so their opponent can't escape it. But let's see what Taira does with his body triangle lock. He has it fully locked in, and we can see in this angle that his locked leg isn't really focusing on tightening the lock on his other leg, but rather putting pressure on his opponent's base. And this gets really interesting. So he's sacrificing some of the security of the body triangle lock in order to put pressure on his opponent's base. And let's see, why is he doing that? A lot of the times when we see guys get their opponent's back, it's called a back take, and they stick really close to their opponent's back because the best angle to get a choke is when you're directly behind the opponent. But we see Tatsuro Taira angle himself off the side of Alex Perez. He's on Alex Perez at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, rather than straight on him. And he does something really unique here. He's putting pressure on Alex Perez's leg. He's torquing his sides and he's leaning straight back. He gives up the choke and he leans straight back. Why does he do this? Well, you can see Alex Perez is getting pulled in the direction of Taira's weight and he stumbles towards Taira. He's putting pressure on this base and he's trying to take him down because his main plan, his best strategy and technique is the ground and pound from this back control location. So he wants his opponent flat out on the canvas so he can ground and pound them, and he has workshopped this way of getting his opponents down using the back take and making it into a takedown. This is spectacular, and this isn't just a fluke. He's not just flexing his abs. Let's see what he does next. Alex Perez is stumbling his way away from the cage, which first of all, the cage is the best friend of the person who has their back taken because you can use it to put pressure on the opponent. So Taira's doing a great job of A, getting him away from the cage, and B, trying to take him down. So let's see if he can actually be successful at the takedown. Again, look at him leaning away, getting that weight on the 45-degree angle while putting pressure on this base. So all of the weight of both fighters is on Alex Perez's right leg. It's probably about 300 pounds. If they weighed in at 125, they might weigh about like 140 right now. So that's like 280 pounds on this one leg. So we see Taira lean for the second time. Alex Perez stumbles to the side. Taira then has his left arm over the top of Perez's left shoulder, and he uses this to grab Alex Perez's right arm. So he basically has Perez's right arm all locked up here. And we can see again Taira leaning Perez over to the right, and you can see how much pressure is on this leg while his left leg is being elevated. Here we have Perez completely gift wrapped, so his right arm is useless. Taira is using this grip on his right arm to anchor himself and stop Perez from defending his own face from strikes in this position. So he can just lean on Perez, causing him to slowly stumble across the octagon and then eventually fall, all the while hitting him in the face with his own right hand. And He leans one more time, and Perez is so off balance here. He has his torso twisted because he has his left hand twisting around him, and he has his leg pressing up on Perez's leg while basically pulling down on the other side of him. He's just twisting him here, and we see Perez go down, and to brutal effect. So he drops down, and his knee just completely goes out on him. And you can see the pain on his face in this position. He is in agony because his knee just exploded. And even if his knee didn't explode here, Taira's on his back. Immediately, Taira still is using his grip on the arm and on this leg to rotate Perez around, flattening him out onto his stomach face down, where he can land ground and pound, where he does his best work and would probably eventually TKO his opponent. So Perez unfortunately had his knee blown up by this crazy takedown. But even if this wasn't the case, Taira still would have gotten the takedown and would have been able to land fight-ending ground and pound here. What an insane takedown sequence from Tatsuro Taira, and I haven't seen anything like this in MMA. I hope you enjoyed. Taira is a beast. Let me know what you guys think of him down below.